So today is 9 years that me and the amazing Amanda have been married, and I know that's a really short time, but one of the things that we had talked about last night is we were just kind of reflecting on our lives and reflecting on these past 9 years were things that we've learned that we think is helping us to build a highly reproducible marriage, meaning building a marriage that if others would imitate what we're doing, they would have a life beyond their wildest dreams. And none of it really is stuff that we've come up with. It's all things that we've imitated from marriages that we've looked at, and we've said, we would like our marriage to be like that. And so as we were reflecting last night, there were a few things that really popped up, and we just thought, as kind of a celebration of our marriage today, we just share with you those things that we've learned from other couples who have marriages that we want to imitate, and that maybe it would be helpful for you. The first one, and this really comes from Amanda, is that marriage is not easy. And there's this lie in our culture that if it's not easy, it must be wrong. And nothing could be farther from the truth. Marriage is just not easy, period. When two lives come crashing together, where they commit to being naked and unashamed, being completely themselves with somebody else, it's never going to be easy. It's going to take work. And this is so counter to our consumer culture that we live in, where in our consumer culture, it basically says that if you don't like something, then you just take it back. If it doesn't work the way that you thought it was going to work when you bought it, then you just return it and get something else. Where in marriage, it's saying, I'm committed to you regardless. And so marriage is not easy. It takes work. It's not about receiving something, getting something, consuming something, but it's about giving our life to another. It's about producing a life with someone else. So the first one is just, it's just not easy to be married. It takes work. The second one is this, is that you've got to be in 100%. And what I mean by 100% is there has to be full disclosure. So, for example, Amanda knows every password to every email account that I have. We know each other's passwords to Facebook. There's no secrecy. There's no sense of, I have somewhat of a private life and then you have somewhat of a private life. No, it's full disclosure. All right? You pick up my phone, you look at any text that's there, you look at anything that has to do with, where we've been online. I mean, I know I'm talking about electronic stuff, but it's just wherever that there may be secrecy, there's full disclosure. Period. Period. The third thing and the last thing is this, and perhaps it's most important, is that divorce is not an option. Period. And what I mean by that is, when we stood before each other, before our friends and family, and as they witnessed us pledging our lives before God to each other, that was a big deal, and that we don't take that lightly, and that our word is our bond. It just means that when we made that commitment, for better or for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness, in health, till death do us part, what we were saying is that divorce is not an option, regardless of how hard that it may be. It's just not an option. And then I guess the last thing that I would say is we think about marriage not being easy, that it takes work. It's not about consuming, which is so contrary to our culture. It's not the idea that if we don't like it, we just take it back and get something else. No, the fact that it's not easy, that we're going to be in it 100%, full disclosure, our whole life. The two have become one flesh. I'm going to share everything with you. And then lastly, divorce not being an option. I think that what empowers all of that is that Jesus Christ is the center of our lives and the center of our marriage. And what I mean by that is He empowers us when it's not easy. That He empowers us to be in 100%. He empowers us to know that divorce is not an option. So our prayer life, our study life, being a part of a community of faith where we share our lives with other people, being in the midst of a life group, an extended family that we travel together with, being in discipling relationships where people are pouring into us and we're pouring into others. All of those are disciplines that help to create a culture of marriage that empowers us to be committed to it, to be in 100%, to know divorce is not an option, to have a marriage that is full and complete, that's worth reproducing. And it's Jesus that empowers that. I mean, maybe for some of you, maybe you're stronger than me, but I know for me that if Jesus is not the center of my life, that I'm just going to treat marriage like a product, and if I don't like it, I'll just take it back and get something else. That if it gets hard, then I'm just going to give up. If Jesus is not the center of my life, I know that I'm not going to be in 100%. I'm going to hold some things back from Amanda. There's not going to be full disclosure. I know that if Jesus is not the center of my life, that divorce could be an option. And so as He is the center, He empowers this kind of lifestyle that we believe. I mean, it's only been 9 years. We're just getting started. But we believe that we're building a foundation of marriage that's worth reproducing, where we've seen other marriages that we want to imitate. And those are the qualities that stand out to us. All right, so I hope that is helpful for you, and maybe worth giving some reflection in your own life and in your own marriage. We just want you to know that we pray for the marriages at Crossroads, as well as those that are within our reach, and we hope that each of you experience the true gift of what it means to really share your life with someone else. All right, take care. Peace.